The bleeding cow. It is easy to be afraid of the dark when you were little. Heck, some would argue it is easy to be afraid of the dark, period. What scares us, though, sometimes is not what you would think.
My chubby legs kicked out until they protruded through the wooden slats of my crib. I wiggled my toes and giggled as I watched 10 little piggies dancing in space. My gaze wandered upwards as I felt more giggles erupting from my tummy. Elephants, tigers, giraffes, and lions dangled from strings spinning around over my head. Mommy and Daddy didn't stir as they slept in their bed, which was close enough to my crib that I could almost reach out and touch Daddy's shoulders. Hunger pangs started, a little ache in my belly. I heard a rumbling noise coming from somewhere inside of me, making me fuss and cry out. My daddy stirred. He sat up and flung the blanket away from his chest. Finger walking on his nightstand, Daddy located his glasses. He stumbled towards my crib as he softly cooed to me. "It's okay, princess. Here I come, your Prince Charming to the rescue." His strong arms reached down, hoisting me up over the railing. "Want to do our duck walk?" he enticed me. As I bobbed my head in joyful agreement, he set my bare feet onto his bare feet. The two-headed duck waddled happily down the hallway and into the kitchen. My parents' one-bedroom, tiny Brooklyn apartment was our home. Maybe a bit too small to accommodate our family of 4, but large enough to envelop huge doses of love, music, and walls covered in original art. Outgrowing my crib, my parents were investigating a solution as to where I would sleep from then on. Their plan emerged, and I grew happier and happier when I heard them discussing a space for my own room. There, right in front of them, the perfect spot. Moving out the small dinette table and 4 chairs and replacing them with a dresser and a bed easily converted the kitchenette into my new oasis. A colorful quilt and dozens of my favorite stuffed animals residing atop of the dresser and crowding my new grown-up bed completed the decor. My big brother offered no objection to continue to sleep on the hideaway sofa in the living room. His only caveat, the hall closet, was still his. Most nights, I was lulled to sleep by the discordant humming of the nearby refrigerator and the drip, drip, drip of the leaky kitchen faucet. On some restless nights when sleep was elusive as catching fireflies in the vacant lot across the street, I played a game of Dare, challenging myself to stare straight ahead at the enormous oil painting mounted on the entry hallway wall directly opposite my bed. The dare was not to be frightened of the gory images leaping across the canvas. After all, it was my dad's signature on the bottom right corner of the canvas, so it really shouldn't be that scary. I named the painting The Bleeding Cow. Slowly, I would lower the blanket covering my eyes and further dare myself to peer at the painting. I would mumble to myself, "Daddy doesn't mean to scare me," as I gradually took in the images of my unwelcomed roommates. Pitch-helmeted German soldiers surveyed the carnage, animal and human alike. A dead cow, its thick brown tongue dangling lopsided from the side of its gaping mouth, hung over a pool of blood, attracting a swarm of flies. Back would fly the blanket over my head as I lied back on my pillow, listening to the discordant hum of the refrigerator and the drip, drip, drip of the leaky kitchen faucet, lulling me back to sleep. You should understand that my dad was truly a gentleman, a direct antithesis of his embattled expression translated to canvas. His rejection from the U.S. Army to join the fight called World War II forced my dad to make another choice. He decided to fight his battles on canvas, his weapon of choice, a paintbrush.